Merry Chrysler.
We got our SFA Santa hats on. Getting in the spirit.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we're together in the same room. We are in our Christmas apparel. Don me now our gay apparel. I'm hosting a Christmas party tonight at my house, and so that's why
It was supposed to be after the game.
It was supposed to be after the game, but since the game was canceled, we figured let's do the recording of the podcast during the normal game time and dress
sort
up.
Of during the normal
sort of.
game
Well,
time.
yeah. Kind of during the game time. Anyway, all right. Well, hey, let's go.
What background are you going to put up? Do you have a Christmas one, or is that a Kansas one down there?
It's a Kansas one back there, but it won't show up until we have our special guest come up. At the moment, it's just us. It's just us. And whoever else just logged on, it's just us at the moment. So we don't know yet. But anyway, so what a trip.
This was a trip, guys. And here's the thing. I mean, we had equally as much fun when we went to, the game in Durham.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Only thing was for that trip, it was right before Thanksgiving, and just the way that our flights were, we didn't really have a whole lot of time to do anything.
We didn't. We got there so late the night before.
Yeah, we got there late the night before, just went to our little Airbnb, got up the next morning.
Because we were so tired from the travel. And then, we didn't even know who all else really was all there, to be fair. So we didn't know if we wanted to, go out anywhere.
Who was there.
Yeah. And then, like you said, we got there late. We wanted to get to our Airbnb and get settled. Because our Airbnb was at these people's houses, in their basement, which was, it worked out fine.
Like a little mother-in-law suite.
Literally, we didn't even know they were there, and they didn't even know we were there. Basically, they knew we were there, but didn't really bother each other. And then we didn't really go out after the game either, because we were in such a wild high from the game that we just went back to the Airbnb, and we had an early flight the next day.
And I think that game was also later.
I think it was too.
But anyhow, so this time around, we have more time. We got there kind of. Well, let's start before we.
Let's just go back. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Before
we even went on the trip, we went to, because our flight Friday morning was at 7:25. So we went to. I'll have them here if you want to look at them.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Okay.
So we went to Dallas Thursday afternoon. Same group of friends that we hung out with for the Fort Worth weekend, the prior weekend.
It was.
Had a lovely little dinner with them.
We did. They made us steaks, so that was really fun. That was really nice. We brought the wine, and they made a bunch of food for us, and that was really sweet. So we hung out with them. We stayed with our friend Megan, and then she actually was generous enough and nice enough to wake up at the crack, even before dawn. It was literally still dark out. But when we left, basically, to take us to the airport at Dallas Love to drop us off so that we wouldn't have to pay for parking. So again, thank you, Megan. Bless you. And then, of course, our friend Kate picked us up then on Sunday. So then again, we didn't have to worry about getting cars or anything. But yeah, so went and had dinner with them, stayed over at our friend Megan's house, and then woke up early the next morning and made it to our flight at Dallas Love, and we were tired. And then so our flight schedule was as of follows. Hell yeah, brother! Kate's
Oh, hey.
We love you, Kate. Hell yeah, brother.
We just gave you a shout out, so thanks for the dinner and the pickup from the airport.
We love you both. The hills and Watauga.
So yeah, that was fun before we even got started.
We had a good little time. And then, so then our flight pattern was this. So we woke up to Dallas, from Dallas to NOLA. We had a little layover in NOLA that was extended by probably, 30 minutes because we had a little bit of a delay, and then went from NOLA to Kansas City. So when we were in NOLA, we flew into NOLA, got there, had a little 30-minute delay, went and found a little breakfast place. What was that, Emerald's?
Mm-hmm.
Emerald's. So that was really good. Again, shout out to our generous benefactors who sent us Venmo and Cash App money, because that basically took care of our breakfast and our mimosas and our beignets. Bless. Awesome.
Oh, hey, Dennis.
Dennis, how's it going, Dennis? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And so appreciate that again, because that was really, really helpful for our budgetary purposes. So what else happened?
So then we made it to KC, and our friend Corey.
Shout out to
Corey
Corey.
Blanford.
Shout out to Corey.
Corey, I think, landed like an hour or so before us.
He did, yeah.
So he had wanted to rent a car, so he just waited on us, and then
which was again helpful. We didn't have to Uber. We didn't have to do anything, which again was so helpful. We appreciate that.
Yeah. So then he drove us the 45 or so minutes. We all stayed at the same hotel, Thoriad. So we got there, we checked in, took our stuff up to our room, waiting on Corey because he was working on his purple hair. So Alex and I went down to where else but the hotel bar.
The bar, duh. Which happened to be the same bar that we were doing the pregame party for the next day. So it just worked out really well that we were able to like make our connections and make our contacts then. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But so we walked up to the bar, and immediately a guy's like, "Axe him," and we're like. So we met a lovely alum named Mike Cook. Who his mother's family is from Kansas. Mm-hmm. And so he's very familiar with the area. His son is going to Kansas currently. Benji. Yeah. And so they were sitting at the bar. So we chit-chatted with them for a little while. Mm-hmm. Then we started our night out.
I'm telling you, I didn't think that that's where the night was going to go, but it went there.
We ended up accumulating quite the group.
We did. We had one hell of a time Friday night. Like, thank God we didn't go as hard Saturday night, because we would have probably been an absolute train wreck for our flight home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We would have been hurting.
That's why I reined myself in on Saturday night.
Yeah, I did too. Because we could have easily went balls to the wall, but we didn't. Because I was like, even though our flight isn't until, 1.
But also gladly, I was like, let's make an afternoon flight. So the flight out was at 1:50.
God,
I was like, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get up hungover and be hauling ass to the airport at
ungodly 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Absolutely not. And then we would have been the only people having that flight. And so then we would have to literally find our own way back to the airport.
Well, we didn't know when we booked the flight, but
it just worked out perfect. It just worked out perfectly that
serendipitous.
Multiple other people had the same flight we did coming home to Texas. So so Friday night we started off at the Bird Dog, and that's where we were waiting for everybody else to kind of like congregate. And it just so happened that Andy Till and T-Bone Thomas all came in at the same time as well. And so literally we're leaving to go to our first place, which was Free State. Grant and his brother, Gavin, were already there, and they had saved us a table. And so I'm going to knock the rev out.
Dustin says, for anyone listening to this later, y'all normally aren't train wrecks. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. It's still my birthday week.
Yeah.
I'll milk it until Christmas, and then Jesus can have his day. But till then, I'm taking the whole damn week, okay?
I'm done. I'm milking it till Christmas, then Jesus can have his day.
But so we went to Free State.
Brewing.
Grant, Gavin, me, Alex, Andy, T-Bone. Had some lovely beers. Corey.
Did we say Corey? I don't know if we said Corey.
Had some lovely beers.
We did.
And appetizers.
Renelle says happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
we had really good beer. I really enjoyed.
Well, I got wassail.
You had wassail, correct?
Very delicious.
Although, did they call it wassail up there?
Mm-hmm.
They did. Okay, I wasn't sure if it said wassail or not.
Yeah.
So she had wassail. I had a stout, and then I had a sour, I believe. Maybe.
I think you did.
I can't remember. I had so much craft beer.
A lot of things.
I had so much craft beer this weekend. I lost count. And so we drank at Free State, had some really good that's one of the pictures I posted on my personal Instagram account was of one of the appetizers we had there, which was like this Spanish goat cheese dip with bread.
Delicious.
Holy crap, delicious. And
of course I got mac and cheese.
You did get mac and cheese, and that was good. Yeah, anywhere we go, we're gonna get some sort of like dip and or mac and cheese, like that's guaranteed. And so that was really good. We enjoyed Free State. I think I posted a picture of Free State. Not sure. I need to go back and see. If not, I'll post one. Really cool little brewery in downtown. And then we went to, where did we go after Free State?
Lawrence Beer
Company, another brewery in Lawrence, which was more like artsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would call it more of like an artsy district kind of brewery.
Yeah, and they had some kind of little cranberry seltzery type thing that I thought that was really good.
Yeah, and I had a small little flights of beer at that place. I had 3 of them. I had like a lighter Pilsner. I had it was like a warm Christmas ale. Yeah. Very good. And then I also had another porter. Man, I was knocking out the porters and the stouts this weekend because, porters and stouts are just perfect for cold weather. Perfect. And man, I was knocking them out. They were so good. And then of course, Andy ordered. I love Andy Teal. I don't know if y'all know Andy Teal, but I love Andy Teal because when he goes anywhere, he goes big. Anywhere we went during the weekend, he ordered food for like 30 people, I feel like, right? Like there was 5 or 6 of us.
There was always food.
And there was food everywhere, every time.
He also got himself a new nickname, Uber Andy.
Uber Andy.
Because
cheers to Uber Andy.
I'll spare you all the details, but the rental car place lost his car, and I asked him if he gave him a Seinfeld lecture about the reservation and how the reservation is supposed to hold the car. But
hey, Dylan.
Anyway, so they gave him a very nice BMW SUV. So
very nice BMW SUV.
He hauled us around for most of the times that we were all able to be driving.
Right, most of the time, and then at one point we did go back and park it at the hotel.
So yeah, we
for the late night.
But, so then after Lawrence Beer Company, we went over to Field and Ivy, which is another
Jose. Cheers, Jose. I'm knocking out porters right now.
Hashtag it's 5 p.m. somewhere.
I love you, Jose.
Not here, but we'll pretend like it. So then we went to Field and Ivy, which is
another brewery,
but they also have like really good pizzas and all sorts of things.
Yeah. Andrea.
Hello.
Andrea. Right.
Aww. My lovely cousin all the way from Belfast listening to us right now.
Sweetheart. Love it.
So
Field and Ivy was really, really good as well. They had a lot of good beers.
They had great pizza. And then
pizza was delicious.
So by this time, Mike Cook alumni had come and met up with us. And then there were a bunch of Kansas people there who knew his uncle, who used to own a sports bar there. So then we were having this whole conversation with all these Kansas people about the game. They were really lovely and nice. And
what started the whole thing is the one guy who is actually, did he say he's like the guy that had the Christmas sweater on?
I don't remember what he said.
He said he
did something for the game.
He does something for the Kansas game. Like he does something for the game.
Like stats, official
something or other. But anyway, he had on this really cool Kansas Christmas sweater that had like all the years on their back. And of course, me being multiple drinks deep at this point, you literally yelled at him as you walk out, I like your sweater, whatever. And then he turned around, stopped, came back and talked. I will say that pretty much every person we met in Kansas was super nice.
Yeah, they were
typical Midwestern, super sweet, nice people. Shout out to them. Let's see. Oh, Carrie Whitsitt. Hi. We'll see you later, Carrie.
See you soon, K-Dub.
Ready to get crazy. Dylan Rodriguez. I'm throwing back water right now.
Well, I got water too.
We do have. Well, I had water in my Baby Yoda cup. It's gone now. Anyway, so we went to Lawrence, went to Fields and Ivy, and then after Fields and Ivy, we took the car back to the hotel, parked it, then started the Uber trips.
The actual Uber.
Not Uber Andy, but the actual Uber trips, because we knew if we were going to go out to the bar scene that there'd be no driving. So the first place we went to, I think we went and changed into warmer clothing because it was starting to get colder.
Which was a mistake, though.
Bad mistake. Bad
for me.
But we were not prepared. We didn't know. We didn't know. So standing outside, we go first to this place called Sandbar. Cute. Okay, we thought all those knack people, listen here, we thought Headliners was a tiny bar.
Like take away the pool section in the back. And it still, I think, was
I felt like we were in a pack of gum. Like we were packed in there like fucking rats. Anyway, so the bar was called the Sandbar. Clever, in the middle of Kansas.
A little beachy scene.
Beachy theme. Scene theme. Anyway, so there's a line to get in. Still, even in Christmas break. Love that part of it. Shakia's on. Sounds like my kind of bar girl.
Hey,
yeah.
Shakia,
you would have liked this bar girl, I'll tell you what.
Happy late birthday to you too.
Yeah, you and Shakia are born pretty much the same day almost.
Yeah, 2 days apart.
2 days apart. Yeah. Shout out to Shakia.
You would have loved it, Shakia.
You would have loved this part. Anyway, so we had to wait to get in. So it was cold outside. So we were properly dressed for that.
So we were happy then.
Right. But then once we get inside to the bar, literally the door opens, we walk in, and it's just like.
I mean, it was packed with people. They were playing dance music.
Oh, yeah. It was like.
People are moving and grooving. And I literally was like, I'm sweating my ass off. I'm going to die.
And if you were sweating, imagine what I was doing.
But I had there was no room to like, I couldn't start taking off layers and put shit anywhere. Like there wasn't anything to do that. You just
I couldn't take layers off. And this is why I usually wear short sleeve stuff and then put on jackets. So that way I don't have to worry about that. But there was nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so hey. Postins is on.
Matt Postins just wanted to pop in and say hello. Have to head out to shoot a ball game. Have fun. We'll be talking about you later.
We will be talking about you later. Anyway, so to wrap up Sandbar, really, really cool little bar. They had cool drinks. I had a blue drink, kind of almost like a Bahama Mama typey drink. And it was called the Shark Attack. Yeah, Shark Attack. And they give you a little toy shark in the drink with a shot in the fucking drink.
And then they have this like fish net hanging from the ceiling, kind of draped, and you have to throw your shark up into the net.
How'd you do at that, Jack?
I was very successful on my first try.
Second try
wasn't so great.
I had to take over on the second try. Poor thing. I don't know. I think you just weren't in the right angle. First time you hit it just perfectly, first shot. Second time.
And I was also being heavily pursued at that moment. So
that's a whole nother podcast. That's like After Dark podcast. Let's just say that. Anyway.
I was invited in the bathroom and I did not go. We'll leave it at that. We headed out shortly after that.
Oh, we definitely dipped out after that. Anyway, so then we decided to walk. There was a couple other bars surrounding, but we decided to go to a place right around the corner, walkable distance, called Leroy's Tavern. And that is where we ended our night, was at Leroy's Tavern. Think of Leroy's Tavern in kind of knack terms as like frogs and headliners, and like a little bit of flashbacks, all kind of combined into one. So just kind of think of it like that. Big bar, big tavern-y, sticky ass floor. I felt like we were back home in Knack. It was perfect. It was definitely up our alley. So we hung out there the rest of the night. Again, cheap drinks, good time. Jacqueline went bonkers on the hoop fever game.
So much fun. I mean, I kept sending Andy back for quarters.
Literally. Poor Andy was our quarter mule. I was like, we need more quarters, Andy. She's on a roll. Bring us more quarters. Anyway, she kept
so much fun.
It was. So that was our first night. We had a really great time first night. Definitely probably too much fun. Woke up with a slight headache, nothing crazy. And then
I mean, I did go attempt my run, so I wasn't too hungover.
This is true.
Just a little dehydrated.
Just a little bit. Yeah, it was. Oh,
it was like 27 degrees.
This one. So I wake up at one point and I kind of like flip over and put my hand over because I thought I heard the door slam and I was like, I don't fucking know. So then I flip and put my hand over and I'm like, all right, well, the bed's empty. So I guess she actually got up and ran. She sure as shit did. I cannot.
Corey texted and asked how my run went. And I said, well, I wasn't hungover, but as much like we flew all day yesterday and then drank all night last night. So I was just a little dehydrated and I started cramping. So I didn't do the full 6. And he's like, we drank last night? Question mark?
We drank last night. Anyway, so that was night 1. Rolling into day 2. Wake up, a little slow, obviously, but we start getting ready, start getting dressed. We message everybody. Am I going to see? Hold on. What'd that say? Renelle, am I going to see you guys give each other Christmas gifts on the podcast? Oh, we are. Well, I already gave. I haven't given Jacqueline her Christmas gift. I can. On the podcast.
Yours is not here yet. So
So that wouldn't be fair. So we'll wait. We'll wait and do it another podcast. Yeah. Maybe we'll do it before we do the food podcast. How about that? So it's fair. Okay. All right. Anyway, so we wake up, we start messaging everybody, kind of starting to get everybody awake and rolling. Because
there's the group together.
There's a lot of shit we had to do.
We had a lot of people because it was me, Alex, Corey, Andy,
T-Bone,
Grant and Gavin were there. Matt Postins and Chuck Cox had gotten in the same night as Alex and I and everyone else, but they had a show they went to in KC. Kyle McDonald just wanted you to know I'm at work watching. We're so glad you joined in for
as you should be. Kyle. As you should be at work watching.
But yeah, Postins and Chuck had a show they went to the night before that they had a grand time. But anyway, so then they met up that day. So
yeah, so
myself, Alex, Matt Atkins, Matt Poston's, Chuck, and Andy all went to lunch.
Because Corey went to go visit some friends in Omaha. So he was gone for the majority of the day up until the pregame party.
And T-Bone was still suffering.
And T-Bone was struggle busing it. What a rookie.
But we went to the coolest restaurant. So I will also give a quick shout out here to my friend Connor, who lives in Lawrence, because whenever Sean and I were supposed to visit beginning of 2020 and we didn't make it, he had a whole list of things for us to see and do. So we went and ate at this restaurant called The Merchant that's inside of an old bank building.
The coolest.
Was a bank that Bonnie and Clyde robbed.
The coolest.
And the bathrooms are inside of the vault. It was just really cool atmosphere. The food was amazing. I got a little mimosa fly. All of our food was delicious.
I, again, had a peanut butter stout. Or was it a porter? Don't remember. Dark beer. Delicious. We ordered for an appetizer. Another, I don't know, something with goat cheese in Kansas. Everything, most of the dips all had
a lot of goat cheese.
A lot of goat cheese. A lot of goat cheese dips in Kansas. Not upset about that at all. And then... I love Carrie. Same. If any of my bosses are watching, I'm working. I'm working, promise. Of course you are, Carrie. Of course. This is just,
the work never stops.
No, of course not.
So we know that.
Absolutely. And so it was another like little goat cheese dip thing. It was delicious. And then I ordered a bison burger. Holy crap. Just delicious. But it was funny because I ordered a bison burger and Matt Atkins ordered a bison burger, and I think they switched our bison burgers because I like my meat and burgers like medium rare, and I think he ordered like medium. And so I was eating it and I'm just like, this isn't medium, whatever. And then he was eating, so I think we had a burger switch. It's fine. It was fine. Jacqueline had I
had a sweet potato quinoa burger. It was really delicious, and it's like truffle potato leek soup. It was really good too.
Ooh. And then a bunch of people had some breakfast stuff. Like Andy Teal had, I just call him Andy Teal. Andrew had some. Uber Andy had like a really cool like breakfast short rib, braised rib thing. Chuck Cox ordered this amazing breakfast poutine. Ooh. I tried it. It was really good. I can't remember what everybody else had, but
I can't either.
Yeah, I can't. But it was all really, really good. Just
delicious.
Know that. It was just delicious. So after we left there, we went to what did we do? Did we go walk around campus at that point?
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, we went and took a short because I had run through campus that morning. But I kind of wanted to get some pictures. So we went and parked and walked through campus a little bit. Again, it was very cold.
Very cold. The wind started blowing.
So we didn't do a whole lot, too much walking.
No, we didn't. But we went and took a few pictures around campus. That's where you may see us with the little Jayhawk. And me and my
new profile pic.
Yeah, right. Her new profile pic, and me in my purple Russian bucket hat, fuzzy bucket hat. And then after that, we went back to our car and back to the hotel, changed, got ready for the game and pregame. But then instead of staying at the hotel, we went to the number 2 bar in America, Barstool Bar in America, college bar. Yeah, College Town Barstool, whatever. Number 2 freaking bar. Number 2 bar.
One that the SFA alum who we met, his uncle used to own it, and so he told us about
Dr. Wu.
Yeah,
Dr. Wu. Cool little bar.
So Mike and Benji kind of took our whole group over there. And by this time we had collected Jeff Davis. We
collected Jeff Davis in the hotel lobby. Just adding people to our group. Anyway, and so we went to the wheel, and so it's actually called the wagon wheel, but they call it the wheel. And when it comes to this bar, again, you think that these college town bars would be huge. This bar was tiny as hell too. But it was so cool. It was very historic looking. I mean, it looked like it'd been there for forever. They had
a bunch of like sports memorabilia on the walls.
And people had signed their name.
Kind of headliner-ish.
Very headliner-ish. Very headliner-ish.
Super cool.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. And then we stayed there for just a little bit. And then it was like almost 3:30-ish. We had to go back to the Bird Dog and set up for the 4:00 pregame party. Whew, man, we didn't know how many people to expect at the pregame party. There were way more than what we thought were going to come. It was a fantastic pregame party. We had good appetizers.
Good drinks.
Good drinks.
Their staff was super helpful.
They were fantastic.
And accommodating. They were awesome.
Bird Dog Bar. If you ever go to Kansas City, if you ever go to Lawrence and you ever need to stay anywhere, stay at the Oriad and go to the Bird Dog, which is in the hotel. Their service and their just everybody working there was fantastic. They were so accommodating.
Yeah, they were awesome. But yeah, we had a super good turnout, and we even had some random, attendees that we weren't expecting.
We really did. Yeah, there was a lot of people that showed up.
Some of Coach Jasek's friends were there. A couple named Brian and Jessica. 2 of Austin Cox's friends, who I think they said they drove down from Nebraska. Tanner and Kirk, they were there.
I'm glad you got their names because I didn't ask.
I went back and looked at the cards.
Oh, perfect. She's good.
Yeah.
This one right here. She's good.
Always thinking.
She really is.
John Treadaway and his family was there.
We love ourselves some John.
Brandy, Erica, TJ, and Andrew. Is that
Andrew?
Yes.
Yeah.
Came. All wearing their little SFA Santa hats.
Yeah.
Of course, my friend Connor, he came with his girlfriend Summer, and they had a couple they're friends with who came as well.
And they had on Michigan State stuff. Yeah. The Izzo Zone shirts. I'm like, again, what balls to wear a shirt to a game, because then they went to the game that they weren't even playing.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is great. I love that. That'd be like me wearing a Buckeye shirt watching the Jackson Kansas State play.
Yeah.
It'd be so random.
And then
I loved it.
I cannot remember their names, but we had the 3 random Cowboys.
Oh my God, it was so funny. So me and T-Bone were standing outside. This is the funniest thing. Me and T-Bone were standing outside, okay, and it's freaking 20 degrees outside, and I'm not in my jacket. I don't care. It's hot as hell. To me, it was hot. I go outside to cool off, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just appears 3 cowboys, cowboy hats, and Carhartt jackets, SFA stuff on, just out of nowhere, and I'm like,
those are our people.
I mean, and I was like, way to just perpetuate the stereotype of Texas. Bless you. I love it. And they came in and they were already sauced.
Yeah.
Already sauced. And I was laughing so hard. And they were the cutest little guys. One of them was from...
They were from like the Tyler
area. One was from Tyler and then 2 were from Gilmer. And I was like...
Gilmer,
yeah. And I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And they were at Duke.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They said, they're like, we went to Duke and they were at the Duke pregame too.
Oh.
But they weren't wearing cowboy hats, I don't think, to the Duke game. I was laughing so hard. Welcome. Cute little Cowboys. What else? Okay, so we have
most of the attendees.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the pregame. We start cleaning up. Before we leave for the game, what happens?
Oh, you're talking about Bob came in?
Oh, fucking Bob. Well, Bob. BK. But the two we
that's what I was getting.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
go ahead.
So Bob came in and David's dad, Bob Calcaries.
Gotta love Bob.
And he was like, the guys are supposed to be leaving soon. I'll keep y'all updated. So we're like, okay, we can get everyone together. So we got everyone kind of together and crowded around in the lobby to wish the boys luck as they were leaving. So you can view our little live video. Mm-hmm. I set it to just stay on there forever. So
okay, good, yeah. So we all ushered
them off,
which was nice. I mean, they get to see how many SFA people, and that wasn't obviously everybody either.
Right.
So they got to see a bunch of SFA people, cheering them on, getting them ready to go to the game. And then, we packed up and got in the car and head off over to Allen Fieldhouse. And when we turned the corner to get to Allen Fieldhouse, I didn't realize how big this place was.
So also the other like big bucket list game experience that we've done was Duke, and I mean Cameron's like just next level anyway.
Oh, but yes,
it's so tiny.
It's so tiny,
Cameron
and when you're outside Cameron, it just looks like it doesn't even look like a basketball stadium. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's the architectural just magnificence of Duke itself. You literally just look like you're looking at another maybe like academic building, like another academic or hall. And then you realize that, no, that's the freaking basketball. That's the Cameron Indoor. And so when you go to Duke, now we're in Kansas and we turn around the corner and there's this huge,
like, here it is, everyone.
Holy crap. Huge. And then I was like, okay, big place. Okay, cool. But then we get inside and right when we walk in the front doors, Basketball Hall of Fame stuff.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Which again,
beautiful.
Cameron had a little small like Hall of Fame thing in the lobby, sort of, but it was much smaller.
Much smaller.
Kansas, it was just huge.
Holy crap!
It was basically like I think the whole perimeter of the building was like the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Pretty much. I mean, there was stuff pretty much in every little corner. Pictures, cool. I mean, it was fantastic. Huge. But that was just on the first floor. But then you realize, okay, we find our seats. We're on the third freaking floor up in the goddamn rafters. We had to go up multiple flights of stairs. I was like, I didn't realize how bad this was. Anyway, so it was an awesome experience. The game itself was fantastic. The seats were, I mean, there was no bad seat in the house. Obviously, we wish we were closer, but
yeah, there really wasn't. And it was similar to Duke in the aspect that everywhere is just bleachers.
Yes.
With numbers, kind of where your seat is supposed to be, but none of them were padded. At least where we were, they were at Duke.
No. We were up with the plebes and the nosebleeds, so it's okay. It's all good. What else do we have on our game list before we start talking about the game itself in Kansas?
Yeah. Okay. So, one thing, because this isn't necessarily game related, but so we're sitting at the game, and I'm like, Alex, I can hear these people behind us are I think they're cheering for us. Okay. And I just looked back there. I'm like, hey, are y'all here to watch us play? And it was David's girlfriend and her parents.
Yes.
And my God, we
obsessed with her.
Love her. We stan Maria. She's one of us now.
She is. We're gonna add her. She's the M in PMA.
Yes. Maria, we're ready for you right here. You can, whenever you come in for a game, you can join us.
Right in the middle. She's the cutest little thing.
She was so lovely, so cute.
I love her so much. She's so nice.
So into the game.
Oh my God.
Her parents were just amazing.
Amazing.
Lovely people.
I mean, she's everything a basketball girlfriend
should be.
Yeah. Everything. She knows everything about boxes. Checks them. She knew everything about the game. She said the same stuff that her and I say.
We were like, you took the words right out of her mouth.
Literally, anything she said, I turned around, I was like, yes,
are you listening to us?
I was like, come down here with that. She was fantastic. And so after the game was over, we actually went back to our hotel, and she was there with her parents, with Bob, and with what's oh my God.
I had shots.
We had shots. I forgot. David's mom.
Well, we finally met David's mother.
Thankfully, super sweet lady. God damn it, I forgot her name.
So yeah, pretty much our whole group went back to the hotel bar.
We all hung out there for the longest time and had.
They found out that it was my birthday at midnight, so there were many rounds of shots bought all the way around.
Yes, many.
Then we decided to go back out again.
We went back to
Leroy's because I needed round 2 on the basketball game.
Yeah.
So we ended up meeting 2 very nice girls there named Tanya and Angel, and I don't know their last names, but I'm sure I could fact check it and look it up. But they both played for Kansas ladies basketball when they were in school. And then Angel had played in the WNBA for a while, and then I think had just gotten out of that and come back and is like a firefighter or something now, she said.
Oh, anyway. Really? Yeah, Jacqueline and Corey talked to them a little bit more than I did.
Yeah, they were
myself and Jeff Davis were kind of in our own world, just kind of be bopping around and talking and drinking.
So they were very lovely and kind, and so glad that we, struck up conversation and made friends with them.
I'm glad too.
Because at the end of the night, there were no Ubers to be had.
Corey and I were outside in the 19-degree weather for 30 minutes trying to either flag down a taxi or find an Uber and a Lyft. Nothing. Nothing. Finally, Corey said, "Look it," and walked the 22-minute walk, which normally would be fine. But he walked the hill by our hotel. When I say this, okay, so anybody up here from the north or just that gets a lot of snow, if you know when I say this is a good sledding hill, you know what I mean.
Like you would die sledding on that
There's
hill.
no way
I would be scared.
Yeah, there's no way you could go up this hill during the winter and ice. Zero way. Zero chance. He hoofed it up the hill in 19-degree weather.
And then in the meantime, I went and the ladies were so nice to offer myself, Alex, and Andy a ride back.
Oh, Andrew. Yeah. So that was pretty much the end of night 2.
That was the end of the night out.
We wake up the next day. Jacqueline did not run.
I don't run on Sundays.
She doesn't do Sundays, yeah. So she didn't run, but we woke up, we got ready, got dressed, packed up our bags, and took off in Matt Adkins' car with Corey in his car following, and went and found a barbecue place in KC for some yummy barbecue before we went onto our flight. Went to Gates Barbecue. Literally got there right before the gates opened. The doors opened.
I like the plan.
Well, I tried. And then, which was probably a good thing to do because as soon as we got there, all these people started showing up, like lining up. And I was like, well, shit, if people are lining up early, it must be good. And so, it was pretty good. Obviously, KC barbecue is a little bit different than Texas barbecue. So we enjoyed that. And then, had a really good lunch before we hopped on the plane with multiple other lumberjacks on our 1:30 back to Dallas, and had a good little flight home, and Kate picked us up, and that pretty much just the rest is history there, right? So that was our trip. There was obviously a lot more ins and outs, but man, we don't have time for all of, we got to move on and talk about the actual game itself and welcome in a second. I can't stand Cat Fan. All the little comments. He doesn't like to comment on the freaking podcast, but he'll comment on my Twitter.
Okay, so I'll start giving. I'm going to give a
hi, Corey.
Hey, Corey. So I'm going to give a quick little background of Kansas.
As soon as she does that, we'll welcome in our special guest.
Do you want me to give the stats before that, or pull them in then?
We could pull them in then.
Okay.
We'll pull them in then.
All right. Okay. So I won't go as long as I did on the background for the Duke, but I mean Kansas deserves a lot because as any of you may know, I'm sure Kansas is kind of a big deal.
Kansas is a big deal.
They are considered one of the most prestigious college basketball programs in the country with 5. Get ready for the list of all of their accolades. 5 overall national championships, 3 NCAA tournament championships, 2 Helms national championships, as well as being a national runner-up 6 times, having the most conference titles in the nation. They are the all-time consecutive conference titles record holder with 14 consecutive titles, a streak that ran from 2005 through 2018. They also own the NCAA record for the most consecutive NCAA tournament appearances with an active streak of 31. They have the longest streak of consecutive NCAA winning seasons, 35. The most winning seasons in D1 history, 97. The most non-losing seasons, 500 or better, in NCAA history at 100. The most conference championships in D1 history was 61. The most consecutive regular season conference titles in D1, which is 14. The most first-team All-Americans in Division I history at 22. And the most first-team All-American selections in D1 history with 29. As of the last complete season, their program ranks 3rd in D1 all-time winning percentage at .725 and 2nd in D1 all-time wins with, I saw 2 different numbers, but about 2,300. Their first coach literally was the inventor of game basketball, Dr. James Naismith. And maybe little known fact, he was actually their only coach who had a losing season. The man who invented the game.
And that, wild.
Anyhow, so some former players that you may recognize: Wilt Chamberlain, Paul Pierce, the 2 that got me started following Kansas basketball, Nick Collison and Kirk Heinrich, Joel Embiid, politician Bob Dole played at Kansas.
What?
If you didn't know.
I did not.
Which now makes sense that Connor had on his list the Bob Dole Museum, remember? No, he must be from there or something. Anyway, okay.
All right.
Former players that have gone on to be coaches include Fog Allen.
Fucking Fog, bro. Continue.
Rupp, in case any of you have heard of a little place called Rupp Arena. Dean Smith, Dutch Lonborg, and former assistants to go on to be notable coaches include John Calipari, Greg Popovich, and Bill Self, who's now there. Mark Turgeon, Jared Hayes, I don't know how you say his name, Danny Manning, and Tad Boyle are all former players and assistant coaches that became head coaches. Their current coach, Bill Self, is in his 19th season.
That's insane, man.
Going into our game, which is so wild because I feel like it was yesterday that Roy Williams left Kansas.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed.
Yeah.
They got Bill Self. Anyways, 19 years. Going into our game, their record for this season was 8-1. Their only loss was to Dayton on a neutral court. 2 other random quick notes about the game. So I noticed this when I watched it back. One of the guys commentating the game was Wayne Simeon, who played for Kansas at the same time as Heinrich and Collison.
Oh, okay, cool.
And they also did a little halftime kind of dedication, I guess, to various Native American groups that are represented.
Oh, yeah,
at Kansas. Right. So that was really cool. I mean,
that was cool because it is Native American Heritage
Month. Talked about it.
So that makes sense. Yeah,
on the drive back, that I guess you don't think about it, but obviously there are many Native American groups in Kansas.
Well, and there's also, I remember when we were leaving Lawrence, that we passed by a Indian Nations University. I can't remember what the name of the university was, but it's like right there in Lawrence. So that was really cool. Okay, so cool. Before we pop into the game notes, let me just go over the WAC standings. Then we'll bring in our special guest for game notes and stats. Okay, so current WAC standings are as follows. New Mexico State is at the top of the WAC at 11-2. Grand Canyon at 10-2. Abilene Christian 8-2. They really just surged up to the top of the pack. Cool. CBU 8-3. Utah Valley 8-3. Seattle U 8-4. They are tied with us at 8-4. Dixie State 7-5. UT Rio Grande 5-7. Chicago State 4-7. Sam Houston 4-7. Tarleton 4-8, and poor little Lamar 2-11. WAC standings reflects wins due to forfeits due to the following cancellations. That includes Sam Houston's win at Lamar, which was on 12/30. Wait, what? That hasn't even happened yet.
I know. I'm very confused with that now.
These games haven't even happened yet.
And it's not supposed to be at Lamar. It's supposed to be at SFA. We're confused. We'll figure that out.
That's saying that there's already cancellations for the Lamar game on New Year's Day.
But it's saying at Lamar, which is also incorrect.
Yeah, they're playing us here. What? Okay. Gonna need some help.
But both of those games include Lamar, so I wonder if they're having some kind of issue.
Right. But that's wild that they've already canceled it. That's a ways out. That's a whole other week.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Clarification. Right. Maybe our guests can give us some clarity on
all right. Well, speaking of our guests, so we are going to, some of you already guessed it. You sneaky little suspicious snakes. Already guessed who our special guest is. He was on the trip with us to Lawrence. He was at the game on Saturday as well. Had some really good seats, and he could tell you about it. Our special guest is, yes, the man, Matt Adkins. Welcome, Matt, to the pod.
Yo, what's up?
And you got your Christmas on.
Betcha.
All got our Christmas sweaters.
Where's Prince?
Oh my God, that is even better than I expected. That is fantastic. So Sean Hurst, Lamar game better not be canceled. I was hoping to go to that one. Yeah. Do you know what do you?
I don't know. I was just searching on Twitter, trying to do some Google searching too. I haven't heard. Yeah, I haven't heard that yet. So
so I pulled up the WAC standings, Matt, and it was literally at the very bottom of the WAC standings on their website saying, "Note: WAC standings reflects wins due to forfeits due to the following cancellations." And it was Sam Houston. Oh wait. Okay, Sam Houston at Lamar, and then SFA at Lamar, but we're playing Lamar at home on 1-1. So,
yeah, hopefully not, because I'm planning on coming in for that. So,
yeah, and then obviously today would be a win for us, correct? Because Jackson State had to cancel. Is that how that works?
I would guess so.
I don't know if they're counting it as an actual win. I think it's just a canceled game to where it's not going to count for you.
Oh. Okay, I'm not. Yeah, we don't know.
I would think so too. That's confusing.
Yeah. All right. Well, Carrie Whitsett says, "Hey, Matt."
Hey.
And then Corey Blandford. Nothing has been mentioned to me, so
we don't know.
Yeah, and Corey was the one that told us before everybody else knew about the game not happening today. So yeah. I don't know.
It looks like the women's program at Lamar said something that their play has been postponed due to COVID, but that's the women. It's maybe the women. Maybe they play at Lamar on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking actually when I saw that, because we're not playing them at Lamar, so it must be the ladies.
But why would that be on the men's then?
I don't know. They probably just accidentally duplicated that note to both pages.
I hope so, because
they are at Lamar on the same day, so maybe that's
okay. Yeah, that's what that was supposed to be then. Okay. Well, let me give the stats real quick, and then we can jump in on talking about the game. Yeah. So our starters were Gavin, David, Calvin, Nigel, and Latrell.
How do we feel about Latrell starting, first of all?
I was thrilled, pleased as punch.
Pleased.
Yeah.
Excited for him. Yeah, that was a big moment for him, being back in Lawrence.
Definitely.
I agree. And I wonder, again, sucks that the game isn't today. I wonder if that was just because we were in Kansas and he wanted, or if that's going to be because of Rati. I think it should be too, but
I'm kind of the other way around. I thought he was a good spark off the bench. He's a good 6-man that can immediately come in and score. So, I mean, I'm fine with him starting too, but I thought he was a good 6-man role for us. We'll see.
I'm torn too, because I agree with that, but at the same time, like, who else other than Day?
Lots of good options.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah. I mean, do we want Day to start and then Latrell to come off the bench, or vice versa?
Yeah, could be interchangeable depending on who we're playing, and maybe Day.
Yeah, exactly. And elite sweater,
Coleman, elite sweater. Which one? I mean, I'm assuming we're meeting Matt's with the Charlie Brown tree in the background. I just realized you have a.
He plays music too, but I won't play it.
Okay, understood. Okay, continue.
Okay, so of course we lost 80-72.
Respectable.
So when I looked it up, we had looked up earlier that day what their capacity was, and it said it was 16,300. And when I looked up on the stat sheet, it said their attendance was 16,300. Honestly, it might have been a few seats shy of that, but it was pretty damn packed.
Felt like it. Yeah. And I know where I was sitting. I was sitting like this the entire time. Grant was next to me and this other guy. I mean, you couldn't turn either way. So it was definitely crowded.
Yeah. Matt had some good fan experiences down where he was sitting too.
I almost got kicked out in the first 5 minutes. Well, I didn't almost. This lady tried to kick me out just for really no reason. But
for literally no reason. The KU Karens that you called them. Yeah.
There weren't many, but the few there were made up for it. So Sean Hurst says Latrell should start more or get some equal minutes with another starter. We agree. We hope that he does get more minutes. And like we said, there's so many, I feel like right now vying for that 5th spot because we have Trell, we have Day, we have JJP.
You got Jalen.
It's tough. So, I think maybe it'll depend on the game and who we're playing and the lineups. Okay.
For sure.
So, Sean Kennedy's stat section, we have our field goal percentage was 53.4. I want to point out that was higher than Kansas with a 48.1. Our 3-point percentage was 41.2%, which was also higher than Kansas with 36.8. Our free throw percentage was 75%, but we only got 4.
Absolutely.
So lopsided.
4 free throws the whole entire game. Points in the paint, we had 48. Points off of turnovers, we had 19. Second chance points, we only had 7. Fast break points, we had 14. Bench points, we had 17. Total rebounds, 31. 8 offensive boards and 23 defensive boards. Fouls, we had 21, and they only had 11.
So lopsided.
We had 20 turnovers. They had 15 turnovers. We had 9 steals and 1 block. Our game leaders, we had Big Game Dave.
Big Game Dave.
His new nickname with us that we heard, that was his nickname.
Yeah. Big Game Dave.
Nicknames.
Big Game Dave.
He had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Gavin had a double-double with 16 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. He also had 7 turnovers, so that kind of sucked. 1 steal. Day had 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal.
Mom just texted me and says Lamar just canceled the women's basketball game on New Year's Day. Okay, there you go.
There we go.
Okay, so let's hope that doesn't leak over into knock on wood.
Okay, so let's get into the good notes of the game. As we said, we were happy that Trell started. That was nice. We did have several players who played really good. I will say one of the overall things I felt like we did well is we really did play really great defense. I felt like for most of the game, our defense looked solid. And when they pressed us, I feel like we actually did fairly well, except for the inbounds passes. If we got it inbounds, we did well breaking the press. It was getting it inbounds that was the problem. But I also, Matt, I don't know if you might have any more insight than us. I have no idea why Calvin was all of a sudden throwing it in for like a couple of possessions.
Yeah, because you were closer, so who knows?
Yeah. Like, I don't know why, but that was definitely a killer. I mean, that was 4 free points for him.
It was not good. And here's the thing: my dad texted me and is like, "Why is Calvin throwing the ball in?" And I was like, I think even Calvin's wondering that right now.
Right.
Like, I don't think any of us know. God, we love Calvin, but throwing the ball in is that's not his space. So I don't know why we decided to do that all of a sudden. But other than that, Calvin played great. I mean, my dad texted me at one point during the game and was like, Solomon's a wild man tonight. Like, he had a fast break dunk, back-to-back steals, length of the court for a layup, 2 free throws, big post move that was like an ESPN highlight post move. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what John Treadaway, he messaged us, or not messaged, but he did it on Twitter. It was another stat. Damn, I'm trying to find it.
Well, I think he was just saying the 21 fouls and the 20 turnovers said it all. I think that's what he said.
Okay. Dang.
That's what I remember.
Okay.
It's not wrong.
No, it's not. I was just trying to find it. Also, I know this has nothing to do with us basketball wise, but interesting enough that the GCU's matchup at Nevada tonight was canceled too.
I wonder if it's COVID related.
It's COVID.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's out of control already again.
It is
Out of
control. Yeah. Christ averted for now. See you there. Again, fingers crossed this doesn't bleed over into Lamar men's hoops. Knock on wood. And then this is John Treadaway right here. Inbounds was brutal. Yeah.
It was so bad. Oh, and I felt bad. I felt terrible for him because I mean, who knows? You couldn't tell if it was his error or if they weren't where they were supposed to be, what he was anticipating. Yeah. I don't know.
The first one I watched pretty closely, and that was, I think, probably the first time that Kansas put the press up. And at the time, all of our other players were on this side of the court, and he had weighed them down, and no one was able to get down fast enough. And instead of calling a timeout, which I get, you don't want to waste your timeouts, but
right,
taking a timeout would have been better than throwing it straight to the other guy for a layup. So
yeah,
and that was how many points? 4 at least.
Yeah, there's 2 inbounds that were straight layups.
2. Right. I mean, and that's half of our loss right there.
I get it, man. Especially in a big game like that, and for how loud it was in there, like you're so afraid you don't want to call the Chris Webber timeout. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, shit. That's a tough spot to be in.
The crowd was great. It definitely had an impact too. You could tell.
For sure.
England had some problems too when it was pretty loud, and with the turnovers. So it's a hard place to play.
But you had one good note about who we could hear.
Oh my God, yeah, that's what I was looking for. So we're obviously we're up in the freaking rafters, and this is definitely a feat of strength because we're up in the rafters, and then it was quiet, and we were on defense for a second, and all of a sudden I could hear defense, and I'm like, oh, Grant.
And when I watched it back today, I could hear him.
Could you? Okay.
I hear him on TV.
I was laughing so hard, and I immediately made a note of that. I was like, oh my God, we can hear Grant from freaking 3 floors up in the rafters.
I heard him
That's what set the lady off in front of us. She was yelling at us because of him.
Tell the story, because when I heard him on TV, I heard him yelling block out at a free throw.
Block out! Yeah.
So the story started just within a couple minutes of the game. Grant's immediately already into the game and yelling defense. And the lady that's in the row in front of us, two or three seats down, she immediately turns to him and starts yelling at how disrespectful he's being, which, I mean, he's cheering on his team. It's not like he's yelling at players or cussing or yelling at refs or whatever. So a couple minutes go on, and he's still going. The lady is just like touching and basically trying to find every person around her to point at us and tell them that these people are disrespectful and all this, right? So the guy next to Grant eventually tells him that this is apparently the players' family section for Kansas. So I was like, oh, that's strange. And I said, I thought maybe the players would have been on, or the players' families might be closer to their bench instead. That's all I said. So I turned to go back to look at the game, and all of a sudden I can hear this lady yelling, sir, sir. I'm watching the game, so I don't know if she's even talking to me. And all of a sudden she slaps me on the leg. I look over, and she is up, cussing, saying, I will kick your fucking ass out of here and all this shit. I'm like, I just started laughing because I thought it was hilarious. So laughing, I probably didn't help this situation. But that's all that really happened. It was just ridiculous.
I would have been laughing too. I'd have been like, first of all, we said nothing disrespectful to anybody. Second of all, why is the players' family section behind the opposing bench?
Right. That's all I said. It was just a normal comment, which apparently just set her off. So
oh my God. This, again, wild. KU Karen's outfit, and that I feel like that may have been the only negative interaction with fans.
Yeah.
With fans.
I don't have any.
I mean, heck, even Erica and Brandy and Andrew and TJ, who were in the student section
in the bowels of the student
literally
section.
in the freaking student section, going crazy over there. Even they said pretty much all, like 99% of all the students over there were awesome to them.
Like
awesome.
They posted all kinds of like pictures.
Yeah,
with them.
they were having
a grand old time.
Fantastic time with all the students. She goes, there was maybe a couple that maybe said something like snarky, but other than that, they had a great time. I was like, that's awesome. Love that.
Other fans that were around us, they love Grant. They're like giving him high fives. Yeah, I love this guy because he's obviously a great fan and into the game. Like it was amazing.
And I'm sitting behind my bench and my team where I should be cheering on my team.
And that's what their fans do.
Yeah. I mean, we had a college basketball game, top 10 team in the arguably best place to watch a basketball game. Chill out.
100%. Yeah, that was a wild story that you told us, and I'm just sitting there laughing as you're telling. I'm like, what is happening? They're lucky Jacqueline and I weren't down there because it would have bbeen 2 times as worse.
Ladies, probably lucky my wife wasn't there because that probably would have been worse.
True, very true.
So I do want to brag on Dave for a minute because he played amazing.
Big game, Dave. Yeah,
he was in there banging the whole game, and even when I watched it back today, the commentators were talking about his energy and stuff, which I feel like they always are because it's always the same.
Correct.
He was getting offensive rebounds, nice post move to get us tied at 23.
Mm-hmm.
He made several like really clutch shots, and he was the one who got us back within 3 points at the end of the game.
Right.
David also, like we said, he made 3 threes, and several of his were very clutch moment threes. Layups, Alex said. He made a lot of
layups.
Great, just like reverse layups.
Oh my God. Anytime I look down, because again, first of all, this was probably bad planning on my part. I was wearing my contacts, which my contacts I can't see as far with my contacts than with my regular glasses. And so, man, we got up to our seats and I sat down. I was like, fuck, I can't see as well, Jacqueline. You're gonna have to tell me when things are happening. I can't see who is who down there. And so. But I knew Dave. I could see Dave because, of course, he's our little white boy on the team. So he's easy to spot. Anyway, and so I was like, damn, Dave is killing it down there in the paint with the free throws, this, that, what have you. I mean, it was a great time. And then, John even said, John Treadaway, KU fans kept congratulating us as we were leaving on such a good game, a whole different than the Duke fans. I don't remember having enough.
I felt like several of the Duke fans congratulated us on the way out.
It wasn't quite as great as it was against Kansas. There were several Duke fans that had some snarky comments as we were walking.
But it is a little different when
you're
you
number
actually
one.
lose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and you're number
100%.
one and you broke that record. Kansas got out easy with the W's. So they could be like, oh, yeah, y'all played us so good.
Yeah.
They would have been singing a different tune if they would have lost.
Oh, completely. I mean, multiple times as we were walking out as well. I mean, we heard comments here and there, not necessarily directly to us, but just overheard comments like, wow, like they were just shocked that game was as close as it was. And like, there was another comment that, man, they just didn't tire out. Like they gave us everything they had.
But that comment, we were both like, do they think that we don't know how to do strength and conditioning? Like
I was
just going to get tired out.
We were going to get tired at the end of the half and just sit down. Like, what are we doing?
That's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I don't remember having too many bad interactions with Duke fans after the game.
I don't have any bad ones.
I don't think we did because we stayed after the game and waited for the team to come out, so it wasn't really that crazy.
And Coleman.
Coleman right up here. It's more of a question. So here's the universal question: how shocked are we going to be when we are tied at 50 with 3 to go against UT RGV just because playing down is our tendency?
Not shocked at all.
Won't be shocked one bit, Coleman.
Actually, I won't be shocked if that happens when we play Lamar.
Touche.
Because it's Lamar. And again, we always play Lamar. And they always play us hard. Every time. They could be they're the worst team in the league right now. The worst.
Worst team. And watch us have a just sneakily squeak out of that game.
They've been without a couple of their best players too for a while. So I'm not sure if they're back or when they'll be back. But
Lamar.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt that they'll be back just for our game and something crazy will happen.
Literally,
of course they will.
They magically appear. They magically appear for our game, and it's like we've been holding them on to. Okay.
So I do want to say one other thing that I liked. They had those two totally botched dunk attempts.
Oh,
made me so happy.
God, yeah.
And I don't think it was the same dude both times, but maybe it was. But one of them, he didn't score the whole entire game. And that was his only shot attempt. Was that botched dunk.
I will say,
up in the third row.
I will say one of my feats of strength is the fact that we kept it at a respectable score. We had every opportunity to win. Obviously, we had many opportunities to win. If we didn't have so many freaking turnovers and if the calls weren't so lopsided, we could have easily snuck away with a W in the fog. But I will say that if we were going to lose, I'm glad it was. Personally, I'm glad it was it was a close game because, sometimes people forget how good we actually are. And I think sometimes we forget.
Yeah.
Well, when they play horribly.
True.
Against freaking ULM, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so Matt, any other positives you want to talk about the game on your end? Anything else you noticed on your end?
Yeah, I mean, if you would have told me before the game that we would out-rebound Kansas and make 5 more buckets, I would tell you that you're an idiot. But
true. Absolutely true.
That was incredible. And we shot almost 61% from the field in the second half, which is incredible to me as anything else in the game, that we could play not only that hard, but able to knock down the shots to keep it close. I mean, we had a 1-possession game with less than a minute left. You can't really ask for too much.
I agree. And that's why, I wasn't disappointed. Obviously, yes, I wanted the win, but I wasn't disappointed at all. I was really proud of them for sticking in there, especially being down a starter. We actually hung in there as best we possibly could. And it was minus, getting the win. If we would have got the win, yeah, great, wonderful. But we hung in there pretty well.
Yeah.
It was great.
Learning how to play without wear might take a couple games. So we did pretty well considering that part.
Okay, I do have one other random note.
Very true.
Obviously, there's a reason, and I don't know what it is, but I was sad that he wasn't at the game. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason that makes sense of why he wasn't there, but.
Yeah, I had heard that his surgery was going to be pretty quick, so maybe he was he's about to have his surgery. I don't know either. I'm just guessing.
And I figured that might have been it, but whatever it was, I hate that he couldn't be there because, it's a bummer enough to not get to play in that game, but not to get to go.
Right.
Or for us is having a senior leader on the bench to help out in a place like that.
Very true. Very true.
A big part of that win. So
yeah, it's also possible that because of all of the travel blunder that it was just, he was maybe one of the ones that was like, well, I'll just go home or something. You know what I mean? Because I'm not even playing. Who knows? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But it could be surgery thing. It could be not quite sure.
But either way, bummer for him.
It is. I hate that for him. I just hate the fact that he's done for the season. Just in general, that's just absolute, gut wrench. All right, so let's move on to our second half of the game talk analysis. Our lovely, lovely segment we like to call the
with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
Yo. Okay, so I want to mention one first that's not really game related at all, but because we talked about this. Well, we talked about this on our way back, the three of us, I believe. Dr. James Naismith, only surviving grandson at the game. Literally the man who invented the game we are watching.
Yeah.
And this man was on like the 5th row. I texted my brother. I was like, I would have thrown a fit. Like,
yeah.
You kidding me? My grandpa literally invented this game and you're going to sit my ass on the 5th row? You better give me some front row courtside seats. No, thank you.
Note around that, I don't know if you guys saw on the outside of the field house, but there's a section to the right that has all of the text that I guess that when Naismith brought down the rules, I guess it was the rules that he created.
It was the rules, yeah, because someone had messaged me and asked me if I'd seen them. Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get to do as much walking around in there as we would
wanted to. Yeah, because we were kind of running behind a little bit.
We'll be back, Lawrence.
We'll definitely come back because Lawrence was a great time. Yeah, Sean Hurst says, props to our team after that travel mess we had to deal with. Absolutely. I feel like that was a huge airing of grievance for me. Obviously, that was nothing that they did or they could have controlled, but I think that really kind of, set them back on their schedule. Obviously, they had things planned for Friday night that they had to either push or cut out or couldn't do. And then they had to probably, squeeze more stuff in on Saturday, pregame that they weren't planning on squeezing in and, all this stuff. And so I think it was obviously a big old cluster F of a travel situation. The fact that the plane had kind of, issues. And then as soon as they get back on the bus to try and, remedy the issue by either busing or doing whatever, they get their bus stuck in a freaking ditch.
How do you get stuck in the ditch anyways?
It was trying to back up.
No.
So I'm trying to remember who was telling me this. They were trying to back
But I bet
up.
you they won't have that bus driver again.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. They were trying to back up, and I guess the bus backed up too far and literally went into like a little culvert ditch or something. Couldn't get himself back out because it was like muddy and a big old, slant. I'm like, what is happening? And so everybody's like, well, are we going to make the game? Like, oh, believe me, they will make it here for the game some way. Freaking how they will get here. And bless up to our amazing donors who have freaking planes.
Strings they can pull.
For God's sakes, they got them on here on time. So big hearing a grievance to the crappy plane that they were supposed to fly in on. Great. I mean, at least they didn't take off and have issues in flight. So that's nice. Good to know that. And then bus driver, what you doing, baby? What you doing?
Okay, this is the collective grievance for everyone who watched this game, I'm certain. But and y'all know my number one grievance is never about the officiating. But my goodness, 21-11 fouls is just not good. And all of their players were bigger than ours. So it's like there's no way we were playing that much more aggressively than they were. They called a foul on David in the first 12 seconds of the game. I'm like, but we just got the jump ball. Like, what the hell?
I didn't even know what the foul was. It happened so fast. I don't
think anyone knew. It was just dumb. I was not happy with that. And that made a big change in the tide. What? We only shot 4 free throws and they shot how many?
27.
27, yeah. I mean, and we had 0 free throw attempts within the first 11 minutes, and then, of course, barely in the entire game. I mean.
And really, the most alarming part to me is that Kinsmill had 0. He didn't get 1 foul call in the paint.
See, if anyone should have had fouls on our team, it should have been him.
Yeah. Because there were multiple.
He had 13 field goal attempts and no free throws. And that's what we do. We feed him to get fouls. Not Saturday.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild to me that there, but the thing is, and we were watching a lot of the replays, like even Uber Andy, shout out to Uber Andy, was watching one of the scenes or one of the plays. And he even showed us, he was like, look at it, look, watch. And I mean, it was so obvious that it was a foul on Gavin and no call, nothing.
Yeah. When we see it, obviously we see it, but when some of the other like non-SFA people are on Twitter and saying the same thing, then that's obviously
pretty egregious.
Right. Yeah. Then it's not biased.
Sean Hurst, refs got some extra pocket change in the half.
Man, they got
that shit prior to the game.
They're just intimidated by Bill Self, man.
I don't know. Like that home cooking is real, especially. And you know what? I'm trying to remember who said it. They're like, do not be surprised about the home cooking in Kansas. Like this is a normal thing.
Yeah.
Normal thing.
Playing the tournament, playing a neutral site, and they don't get the same calls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guarantee if that game was played somewhere else, definitely neutral site, it would have been a totally different scenario.
So again, the fact, I'm going to turn this back into a feat of strength, but the fact that we played them as closely as we did, considering that, is pretty amazing. Because if that would have been cut in half, we would have beat them by 10. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, agreed. Exactly. That's what I think we talked about that too.
Yeah.
Like if we wouldn't have had so many turnovers, if it would have been closer on turnovers.
Or if they would have called more fouls on us and less fouls on them, we would have won by 10.
Oh, easy. And then imagine if we didn't commit all those turnovers. Imagine. Because how many points did Kansas have off of turnovers?
28.
28.
To our 19.
Yeah, points off turnovers.
Yeah.
28. Yeah. Exactly.
10-point difference.
Boom.
One more officiating grievance I had is that damn travel they called on Nana pissed me off because he got knocked off balance by somebody. They could have called a foul, but they weren't going to call fouls. They called travel. I'm like,
yes.
He didn't just fall down into the splits by himself. Like,
he tripped over someone else's foot / pushed over.
Someone bumped into him.
Someone bumped him, but yeah, exactly. Come on.
That was that. And then also, remember during the game, whenever they pulled David out and we were like, did he get in the mouth or what happened?
Oh, yeah.
It looked much worse whenever I watched it on TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there any foul whatsoever?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, there was. They didn't call it, no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't call the foul.
No. I mean, it was pretty bad. Like, he went down face first in the middle of the lane and like laid there for a minute before he got back up and tried to finish the play. And then they blew the whistle on something else, and you could see him holding his mouth. Like, it looked pretty bad.
Oh my God. I mean, come on. What are we doing?
No.
And of course, that's not on us. It was more obviously a grievance toward the officiating staff. And it's just like, I don't get it. It's just egregiously obvious calls like that just being completely overlooked. Completely overlooked.
So my main grievance is on us. So that Ochai, or however you say his name, he had 3 threes like right off the bat at the beginning of the game. And I do feel like we let them have more threes than we should have because, I mean, a team like Kansas, you just know they're gonna be able to pull the trigger on the 3, and we let them have a lot of wide open ones.
Again, the way that we run our defense that just allows for those easy threes. Yeah.
And the inbounds passes, which we already covered. But
yeah, and then I think another one of mine was that I just noticed just bad ball handling in the second half, especially in the second half. There was some in the first half as well, but I mean, just like easy, just turnovers. That was again part of the turnovers was just losing the ball, just some sloppy ball handling in the second half.
No, there was one possession where like everyone who touched the ball almost bobbled it out of bounds.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What are we doing?"
There was a pass like either to David or David had it and he lost it. Like it was just an easy loss.
The turnover that David had really late in the game, Reed Bates just lost control. I mean, it's not his fault. It happens, but that was killer at that point.
It is a killer. It's a killer. And again, like it's no slight to David, but like it's just those small little things, especially at the end of the game when we have a chance.
Yep.
Well, that's again
killer.
I say it every game, but the turnovers at the end of the game don't weigh any more than the other ones. And if the other ones wouldn't have been made, we wouldn't be in that position when that one was made. So all those other little bad passes, turnovers, missed layups early in the game, one of them could have kept that turnover from being significant.
God, and then the blocking out.
Oh, yeah.
Lack of blocking out under the basket.
There were several times that none of them were blocking out. And we did have a couple of backdoors, too, this game.
Yeah.
Well, and that last offensive rebound for Kansas is what sealed the deal. They get that last shot from Remy Martin, which was an amazing shot. But, I mean, we should have the rebound first.
Oh, completely. And another thing I noticed too was the points in the paint too. Obviously, on Kansas, they had 34. Anytime we can keep someone to 30 and under or 20, in the 20s is good. Can't win when we have 34 when they have 34 points in the paint either. I mean, just letting them come right in. Just like in the ULM game, just gifting them the basket, gifting them the layup. Merry Christmas, right into the lane, right into the paint. That was just a frustrating thing from us up in the rafters.
It's also arguably the best guard trio that might be in the nation. Definitely the best that we'll play all season. So, I mean, I still thought we played pretty well defensively, but considering what we had to go against, it's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
Oh,
very.
Completely. Agreed. I mean, there's always going to be a few things to knock on, but considering playing number 7 in the country, the team that we played, the hell is happening over here? The team that we played, the Duke team that we played was arguably not as strong as the Kansas team that we just played, and they're number 7, and Duke was number 1 at the time, 100%. Very, very proud of how they played. So let's move on. Usually, Matt, at the end of our summary, end of our analysis, we do one word to describe the entire game. So we'll do ours first, and then, or just the entire weekend to describe the whole weekend. So Jacqueline, what would you say?
Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about it at all, but I think I'm just going to say exhilarating because it was really the whole thing. And like we said at the beginning, I mean, obviously the Duke game was a huge bucket list check for me too.
Right.
And I'm not saying we had less fun then, but we just didn't have as much time to do as many things.
Yeah.
And so this time around we had more time. We had a bigger group. We got to do all of the things.
We had a lot of fun outside of the game itself. the game itself was fun.
And the game was wild. I mean,
Which actually, that's exactly what I was going to use for my word is what I named this wild weekend in Lawrence. My word was wild. Like the weekend was wild. You know, we had all the fun times, you know, eating and drinking and having fun with our friends and our traveling companions. And then, of course, the game itself was just a wild experience, being in Allen Fieldhouse and seeing just how packed that place got and how the crowd was pretty tame for the most part until the very end of the game, which was kind of wild. And then they did that fog advisory, and I was like, this place is going to freaking explode. It got wild.
Or maybe camaraderie would be a good word, because I feel like we just had such a good group, and like we did almost everything together. Like we did so many things.
Which is what the Duke game for us was missing. Like we had a great time because we won the game, but we didn't get to do all the fun camaraderie stuff. So Matt, if you can say this entire weekend or game in one word, what would it be?
I was going to say exciting, which is the same, echoes exactly both y'all said. I mean, the entire weekend was really exciting. I'm excited to go to these games no matter what the outcome is. Just like
Absolutely.
The Kentucky game was exciting, even though we got killed in that game. But I'm always excited to go just to watch our program play at the best of the best, right? So
absolutely,
it was great. Travel was easy. Food was great. Drinks were great. Friends were great. It was an exciting weekend.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree too. And
it was so much fun.
We're just, and that's another thing too. Moving into the WAC is just an exciting thing for us all, because I feel like it's just going to keep getting better. Like the non-conference games are going to be so much fun, and then of course these in-conference games are going to be, they're in new places that we haven't really gone to yet, and that's just more exciting new trips coming up. Like there's a lot of schools in Utah. You know, you used to live up in Pacific Northwest, so you kind of know what to expect up there. You know, there's a team in California that we got, you know, Grand Canyon, and then we have, you know, UTRGV down in by the border. So that food's going to be good too. I mean, we're just really excited for our food podcast, as you can tell. And we're excited to do that next week before conference actually starts. So, oh my God, we're excited. It's going to be a great fun time. So Matt, now's the time to kind of talk about the upcoming New Mexico game.
Yeah, definitely.
This is all you, bud. This is all you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I appreciate it for giving my little sales pitch in here, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, the New Mexico State game at home on Saturday, January 22nd, we've organized an official title keeps changing, but basically a alumni student section return of the hecklers type event. So basically anybody
I'm gonna jump in really quick, Matt, and say anybody listening, if you've been feeling nostalgic while we've been talking about all these alumni getting together for this big game and having such a fun time and going and eating and drinking and going to the game, this weekend is for you. Like this is the weekend you need to plan to come to NAC. This is why Matt's putting this together, to get everyone back together and kind of relive this. So
yeah, and the weekend in general, even without this, I mean, the New Mexico State game should be our biggest home game.
Yeah.
For the new WAC schedule that we have, right? So everyone should back to this game automatically, but the event, it's for people like us that are graduates, fans, students, or former students, former players, anyone that wants to come back and relive some older times. Obviously, now we talk a lot about how the student section is kind of phased out, non-existent, whatever you want to say about it. We are coming back for this weekend to have our own student section. We've got 45 tickets sold already. I would assume it's going to be a lot more that will probably come closer to game time. But we're going to be rowdy. We're going to be standing up all game. We're not sitting down. We're going to be a real student section, chanting, yelling, all of the above. We've got a pregame tailgate. We've got an exclusive tour of the practice facility included.
Which is amazing. Just even that enough alone on its own is worth it.
I think Corey's throwing in some vouchers for popcorn and hot dogs, something like that inside.
I think he is. He mentioned that. Yep.
And for a lot of people that I've talked to that haven't been in a while, they still don't know that we sell beer inside, right? So now that you can buy beer inside, but also have it delivered straight to your seat, it's a huge selling point, I think, for a lot of people that haven't been in a long time. So
I agree.
But yeah, we've got exclusive tickets. So anyone that wants to come, it's open for everyone. I don't care how old you are, men, women, kids. Kids are okay.
Kids. Yeah.
So what's the number one way, Matt, for people to get tickets to this? Like, where do they need to go look for it? What's the easiest way?
Yeah, so I have an exclusive link that I have on my Twitter. My personal Twitter is just at MattADK. I also run the Lumberjack fans Twitter. I think most people know that, but that's also me.
Yeah. You do?
Yeah,
Shit.
right. But I'm posting from both of those accounts for the event. I'll share that again here in a minute. But then again, it's an exclusive ticket just for our individual section. And, and also the tickets are only $5, so it's also cheaper than everywhere else.
$5.
$5 hairs.
And $1 from each ticket I'm donating back to the student section.
Okay, cool.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Keeps like someone keeps knocking on the window. I wouldn't be surprised if someone was. No, we're so excited. And the thing, and so I feel like it'd be cool if, you guys are in that section and then you still have Jacqueline and I behind the bench, but in the same shirts, because you're doing shirts, right?
Yeah, just launched the shirts last night, got the design ready. So if anybody wants a shirt as well, like $11. It's got the old Hecklers logo a little bit revised, so it's pretty cool.
Perfect. Yeah, so we're gonna get some shirts. We're gonna still wear the shirts, and we're gonna be right behind the team, and we'll be doing the same thing y'all are doing over there. And heck, we may come join you halfway through the game or something too, or at some point. Yeah. So we're excited. We're excited for the whole day. We're excited for tailgate. We'll be there for tailgate. We're gonna get some Fredonia beer over there for you guys. Excited for that. And man, people, if you have not come back to a game at all this season, this is your opportunity to come.
This is the one.
This is it right here. Cheap ticket in town. Bring your family.
Get a T-shirt.
You get a T-shirt.
Get drinks.
Get
food.
All of it. I mean, it'll be a cheap weekend. Stay the whole weekend if you want. Go stay at Fredonia. Go stay at Airbnb. I got 2 beds in my house. I mean, we have the space. Just make it happen, Captain. I mean, Matt's over here hustling.
Spent a lot of time getting together, so I'm hoping.
Exactly.
You've been doing a lot of work.
You have
weekend,
been.
I know.
And so, I mean, 45 tickets already sold is huge. Lumberjacks and just Texans in general are so last minute. You're gonna have people. I bet you're gonna have people day of wondering, okay, well, how do I come get tickets and sit in the section?
Yeah, I absolutely have plenty of friends that told me they're coming, but they haven't bought tickets yet. So
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm late, and that's great. Everyone's still welcome, no matter what. So.
Absolutely. We are so excited, and we're, glad that you're doing this, excited for the whole New Mexico game. So we're playing New Mexico. We're also playing GCU in January. WAC play starts in January. And so there's just a lot coming up within the whole month of January right there that there's just a lot happening. And so get your tickets for that game, y'all. Get excited for WAC play. Get excited for New Mexico to come to, the Sawmill. Get excited for GCU as well to come to the Sawmill. That's gonna be another big game too coming up. I mean, it's go time. It's go time.
I'm excited.
Are you guys also gonna bring back the orange cones too?
We've got some cones somewhere. Someone has them, so we'll bring back some cones for the first couple of rows. I bought some masks that have the purple lights and stuff. So when the lights go out, we'll have those on.
Oh,
planned out.
Look at you! Yeah, I was thinking of buying how they have the large orange traffic cones, but then they have the little tiny ones.
Yeah.
I was thinking I might be getting a couple of those, and just Jacqueline and I having those and just saying
cool.
woo woo on our side. So I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Just for old time's sake. Man, I wish I still had my old Heckler shirt. I looked all over for it. I had no idea where it went. My black one. I have no idea. But anyway, I'm excited to get the new one. Hold on, we have a couple comments. Let me go back. Carrie Whitsitt, are old school megaphones allowed? I don't see why not. I mean, the cheerleaders.
Some students, I think they've been using the cheerleaders' megaphones in the stand. So
yeah, and then okay. Oh, never mind. I just answered.
So was it a yes or no, K-Dub? If you answered it,
yeah, I'm assuming yes because
I would think
the
yes.
I mean, yeah.
They're not artificial noisemakers, so
no.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
exactly.
They're fine.
I agree. Carrie, yes, girl, yes, queen. We're excited. So, Matt, if you could. Send us those links for tickets, and then for the T-shirt, and then that way we can post them on our pages as well.
Yeah, if you tweet it,
we'll tweet them and then retweet it. Yeah, so that we can stick them on there, and keep them available. I'm assuming if orange cones are allowed.
We assume the same.
Absolutely, K-Dub. We agree. Oh, my friend Joel, Alex. Yeah, what's up, Joel? He's my high school buddy right there, Joel. What up, bud? So how them UH Cougars doing? still reeling from that lumberjack or lady jack ass whooping, actually, probably. Anyway, all right, so let's wrap it up here. We have just a few other reminders. Of course, buy your tickets for the Alumni Heckler game on January 22nd. Stay the whole weekend if you want, or just the day of. What time is that game at again? Is that a 2:00-er?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so again, it's an easy come down, make it for tailgate, stay for a few hours, watch the game, and then head back, even if you can't stay the night. I mean, the 2:00 game is perfect for those out of town if you don't want to stay the whole night or the whole weekend. But if you want to stay the whole weekend.
I imagine nighttime might be pretty fun too.
True.
Heck yeah.
True. Do we know? Obviously, the game's going to be on ESPN Plus. You know, I kind of wish that it was. I keep hearing.
I heard
I haven't
something.
seen anything different yet.
What is she?
My mom is being wild at the window over there.
So you're like,
I don't know.
wipe in the window with her shirt.
Fucking goober. I don't even know what the hell. Anyway, okay, so guys, don't forget to make sure that you are following us on all the social media pages, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Also make sure that you guys, if you have any reservations about if you should order a My Plate, I think you should. Matt Atkins, do you have a My Plate?
I do not.
Ah, what?
Tiffany, Christmas gift idea.
Yeah.
That's a good, very good point. I've thought about it, but you're right. I do not have one yet.
Man,
Yeah.
they're awesome. I love them so much. And like, you know, I mean, obviously I have mine on my car. And then, I mean, there's such a noticeable thing that like one of the last times I went to pick up my groceries, curbside or whatever at Brookshire's, the nice little girl who brought them out, she's like, every time that I see one of your orders come in, I write on the side of the bag in purple.
Aw, that's so cute.
I was like, oh, thanks.
I love that. No, yeah. So again, easy way to support your lumberjacks if you order a My Plate. When you buy a 5-year personalized purple SFA plate from My Plates, SFA Athletics gets in almost $250 from that purchase. It's a Stephen F. awesome way to support your lumberjacks. When you renew that 5-year plate subscription, SFA gets nearly double that at $400. But even if you don't want to spring for the 5-year personalized plate, I understand it's a little pricey. You can either do a layaway option where you pay it off one at a time, or you can even do a 1-year or a 3-year. So you can do a 1-year non-personalization background only, and it's only $50. So
$50.
50 doll hairs, you can get an SFA plate for 1 year and at least support the lumberjacks that way.
That could be like your headliners tab for one night. $50.
$50. Mine's like 20 or less.
Maybe if you buy shots.
Now I was gonna say, good Lord, maybe if we're in Lawrence, but I don't
maybe
even
one weekend.
I don't even want to know how much money Andy Till spent that weekend. I love you, Andy. He bought a lot of drinks for people, meaning us, plus him.
Andy might not know how much Andy spent.
I don't think Andy gives a flying fuck how much he spent, to be fair. No, he writes it all off. Joel, I'm your friend's friend now after that low blow. I'm so sorry, Joel. You know I love you, buddy. You know I love you. I know.
All in good fun.
All in good fun. That's why we always poke fun. One last little comment that I have to say that Cat Fan sent to me, because, again, he likes to send it to us on DM and not on here because he
doesn't want us to know who he is.
Yeah, because he's a little stinker. So he sent me a message, said, for grievances, can we get a list of schools with coal in their stocking this year? And why does the list begin with McNeese? 100% the list starts with McNeese. That's a long list of schools that need coal in their stocking. Everyone gets coal but SFA. Right? I mean, that's just the only right answer, right?
I'm just displeased with everything McNeese right now. So.
Oh, yes. Agreed, Joel. Sam Houston State has a bag of coal. Agreed.
Give him a bag of something.
A flaming pile of you know what. Anyway, all right. Well, Matt, thank you so much for joining us on lovely, kind of cold Christmas week day. We wish, obviously, we were watching the Lumberjacks right now and the game would be over right about now, but
yeah.
Oh, well, here we are.
And we will absolutely have you on for the recap episode of the New Mexico game so you can tell us all about the heckler event.
Yeah, because we would love
I'll have some stories. So.
Oh, yeah. We will have plenty of stories.
Start making your notes now.
Yep.
plenty of stories from that game, I'm sure. We're excited for the upcoming WAC season, and we're also excited for our Foodie Foodcast.
Foodie Foodcast.
I blame this, okay? This hit you hard. Anyway, all right, everyone have a great day. Hope everybody has a really great Christmas.
Yeah.
And then we will see you guys next week for our food podcast. We're going to figure out what day we're going to do that and compile all of our notes of all of the food that was sent to us.
We
have our assignment. I know that's our homework. We have a large list cut out for us. And so if you guys listening, all of our Nacogdotians listening, if you have any specific recommendations that you want us to include on the NAC food the WAC food
portion.
The NAC portion of the WAC food pack.
I'm sure we know them all.
We do, but if there's
there's something you think we might miss, let us know.
Let us know. Favorite drinks at different bars or favorite food items at different restaurants, let us know. And we're excited to get that done next week.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Woo! It's gonna be a long one too. All right, so thank you again, Matt, so much. Hope you have a great Christmas with you and your family.
Likewise.
Yeah, and the kiddos. Yeah, and again, thanks for coming on, for giving up an hour and 30 minutes of your time. We appreciate it. So everybody have a really, really great day. And as always, Axe and Jacks.
With Alex and Jax.
See you later.